Welcome back to another edition of the GridIron Throne podcast, Volume 2, offseason 2023. How we feeling today?
Sheriff's in town, feeling good. Uh, Breaking news: Bears finally did it. Bears finally did it.
That's like a huge. That was like your ideal of what you want out of a trade out of one. You got your first, your additional first. You still
Yeah,
stay,
you got your additional first. That's kind of like the starting piece. We want that additional first.
and it traded down to do what? To ideally help out the line.
Yeah,
That means they're going Paris Johnson out of Ohio State, or they're going
I'm.
that's a guy Peter something out of Northwestern. I think Senikowski or I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Barstool guys were like all about that guy.
Yeah, well, he's Northwestern, so that's why.
I'm still a believer. Now I'm an actual firm believer now. Even given DJ Moore coming, that they're going to take a wide receiver at 9.
At 9, that means they're going JSN if they do. He'd be the only one.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
JSN, DJ Moore in the slot, Claypool on the other slot, other side.
Still got Darnell Mooney too, but
Still got Mooney. I mean,
I'm thinking they're going lineman just because they want to save Justin Fields from himself essentially.
We got 61. We got 61 in the deal as well.
Yeah.
And I believe there's where we could probably also snag the wide receiver. So we don't need that initially. But if it's like JSN's at 9, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck this up.
Right. And then even if they want to, like, I'm surprised they didn't. I don't know if they really even got offers from the Colts or Texans or anybody like that. It would be really pointless because like I don't think we've ever seen it in history. I mean, not that I remember at least, where someone is traded one pick down or two picks down and then traded again further back within the first round. I don't think I've ever seen that.
No.
That'll be my homework to Google a little bit later. But yeah, insane news. And then you got your 24 first, which is like that's kind of your trade piece. That's kind of the one because realistically, Panthers are going to be pretty bad in the next year.
Who are they picking at 1?
Oh, they're going AR. It's Cam Newton reimagined essentially is what they're doing.
Fun little fact about AR is that AR, his nickname is AR-15, or it was. And he publicly came out last year before the season because he knew he was probably going to start, having a really big start getting noticed, whatnot. That he didn't want to be associated with that nickname AR-15 because guns and shit like that.
Probably that's a little fun note, but yeah, probably a good idea just because don't want to be on the wrong side of it and having people outside protesting the stadium. But
yeah. So anyway, just a little small piece. I remember reading it last year and being like,
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think AR didn't even start the season. I think he took over either the guy who started over him sucked, or he ended up or he got hurt.
I'm almost positive he started this year.
Yeah, let's do a little fact check while we're discussing here. But I think he goes 1 no matter what now because he showed. Yeah, they want their Cam Newton again, and it's not a bad offense to run. He can move, he can throw.
4-4-3. But what the fuck?
The thing that's interesting too.
40-inch vert. Cam Newton reincarnated. Like
he would be the guy, in my opinion. Yeah, because he didn't. I'm trying to pull up the sports reference page, but he didn't. Yep. I know that was like one of the things I've listened to recently too. I think it was at the combine. They were saying like his numbers weren't as like he didn't have Bryce Young numbers or Stroud strictly on the fact that he didn't start. So he only started 12 games. So I think that's close. That'd be like 2 off from starting, I think.
An entire season?
Yeah, because I think the SEC, they play like 13 or 14 games.
13 or 14. I think it depends on what they schedule.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Okay, so Jack Miller, he played in 1 game, and then Jalen Kitna played in 4. But
that's definitely John Kitna's son, for sure.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, I mean, either way, that's my consensus 1-1 now, just off of the trade that they just made.
Yep.
I think it's going to be interesting for them to try to, finagle around that because they got rid of their number 1 target. Now, does that move? Okay, DJ Moore's on that trade. Does that move him up at all?
Does that move him up in terms of
dynasty rankings? If you look at it,
I mean, I think it'd have to. I think that's Fields' number one now for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely the one, which should open it up for Mooney for deep ball. I mean, because DJ Moore's kind of a deep ball guy too.
I was gonna say DJ Moore is kind of the deep ball guy.
And then you kind of throw in Claypool in the red zone just because he's lengthy and can kind of go up and get it. At least
that's his forte, or at least it was with Roethlisberger that first year.
Yeah,
was those jump balls.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be good. It's
and maybe Komet actually, I don't know.
Komet opens the field a little bit more. I like Komet a lot too. I think that's going to be like one of those like breakout top 15. I mean, the tight end position is basically 4 guys, and then that's it. So you got King Kelsey, you got Mark Andrews who balls out. He got hurt last year, so can't really do anything about that.
Yep.
Kittle, our guy Kittle.
Who's 4?
4? Goddard.
Okay.
He's consistent. He puts up.
I mean, I guess if Waller ever played again, he might be in that slot.
But Waller would be top 5. I mean, like you said, if he plays again, and he will. I mean,
yeah. Well, he's like 30 something now. So
yeah. But back to AR. I think he goes 1. If not, then it's Stroud. But I don't think people are as high on Stroud as I think he is. I
think the combine just did AR for number 1. I think that's the sole reason that the Panthers are doing that. They're like, all right, cool, checked every box, let's get him.
Right, exactly. So that helps them. And then you look at what teams have done in the past. Look what the Eagles did. Look what with the Titans. They moved picks around. The Dolphins, they moved picks to KC for Tyreek Hill. You get these wide receivers who A, won out, or B, want to get paid. Bears have cap, and then they also have that, they have the draft capital to do so. I don't think that's going to be the case for them, particularly that they got DJ Moore attached to that trade. But I think you move him up in at least your top 20 for dynasty wide receiver currently. There's dynasty wise, probably 25, but like regular season, I'd say he's in the top 20 at least.
I would agree.
All right, and then 25 second, that's just a good throw in.
So 25 second, nice toss, and we'll definitely appreciate that when the time comes in a couple of years. We're like, team's doing good. Fields is an MVP.
Mooney's gone, Claypool's gone. That's a wide receiver.
Yep.
Now, go ahead.
No. What's next?
All right, so we have to, raise our metaphorical glass for Adam Thielen getting released from the Vikings, the 10-year vet. So that's kind of a little bit of a breaking news. I was thinking the Bears were going to sign him, to be honest, just to kind of stick it to Minnesota. But
was that today?
Yeah, that was this morning.
Fuck, man, I haven't checked the social medias. I should have done that first. But who got released? But that was time, but. It'll be nice. Add into some.
Part of me just like defaults to like the Broncos now, just because like they could use that wide receiver in the slot or like
Brandon Stokely.
Yeah, or Brandon Stokely, or just like he would be the guy perfect with Brady if Brady was still playing too.
Oh, absolutely.
He'd be a Tampa guy easily. But yeah, raise our glass to Adam Thielen. He's not retired, but he'll be on a new team, and we'll see what that does for Jefferson. So, you know who that means? That means the Vikings are going wide receiver probably. I mean, they released a ton of people. They released a couple of corners. They were terrible on defense this year, but I expect them to be. JSN and Jefferson in the same offense. That'd be sick.
Oh my god, let's not.
Pretty much any of the wide
just as the Bears. Like, let's not happen.
Yeah, it'd be a good 2A compliment for them. Yeah, so we can go right into the next segment of trades. We're gonna go through some of the trades in the past, some of the trades that have occurred this year, and kind of just break them down. Not as much, oh yeah, I won this trade. No, more like, okay, we saw how it is just across the board. So let me share my screen.
See what we got here, puppy.
All right. All right, can you see?
Yep.
Okay, so this is just from a couple of leagues that I'm in. This is one of the other ones that I commish. This one went down the other day. Kind of just a weird trade, but 24 fourth rounder, a 23 third rounder, 23 fourth rounder for basically moving up to 3-6 in this draft, getting rid of 2 6s. So basically, the strategy that I'm seeing from the Marvel D's nuts is that he's loading up on these third rounders. It's a 6-round draft. I don't really. He's trying to basically package these. This is what like some of the deals I've seen across the league too that people have been saying is that he's just trying to move up like into second and then try to get another second. That's not going to work because nobody wants to do it. Plus, it's still really early. Now, if he was doing that with second rounders to move up to a first, potentially we could play ball, but it just kind of like it was a really head scratcher for the trade.
That's kind of where I'm at. Okay, we moved up 5 picks. And then I don't know. That's actually a weird trade. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's like one of those ones that like it's like a why? Just why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You know, it's full IDP as well. So you have like your defensive tackles and stuff. So it could come in handy with like Will Andersons and, those guys of the world. And you can find like these fourth string running backs that somehow start. That being said, trade that I personally made, Cade Otton for Mike Gesicki. Thoughts?
Straight up?
Straight up.
And you got Gesicki?
I got Gesicki.
It's a trade rape.
Yeah, because want to know why? Because he's not anymore. I think he's going to be the biggest buy high this year across the board for.
He's a really good tight end.
He's a great tight end. He just needs he doesn't need Tyreek Hill in his grill. He doesn't need Waddle either. The problem is also we'll just call it the Kyle Shanahan offense. Doesn't throw to that tight. They throw to Kittle, but they don't throw to the tight end in Miami. Tua doesn't look that way. I don't think
he really doesn't. Like he doesn't get targets. So,
and it was one of those buy lows because Cade Otton could, for all intensive purposes, turn into Travis Kelce, and we can laugh about this, but I don't think it's going to happen. He had a couple breakout games when he had Brady as his QB. Right now, he's relying on Kyle Trask. Now, if they trade Mike Evans or Godwin, he gets a little bit of a bump, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, but that's just by default. That's not by like him, I don't know.
Right.
That doesn't mean he's gonna he's gonna catch the ball more, I guess. That doesn't mean his numbers are gonna be better. Like he's not that type of player.
Yeah, exactly. And Gesicki could end up on a team that needs a tight end. So maybe Broncos.
Yeah, he's free agent, right?
Yeah, free agent. Broncos would be good. Maybe they'll pair him with a rookie. You never know. It's pretty much all I have to say about Gesicki, but nice little buy low. Next one, Tony Pollard for 112.
That's it. That's what I'm looking at. That's interesting. Tony Pollard 112.
I think that's a steal to get Pollard for.
Considering I sold Henry for 110.
Now there is an age difference though.
There's 4 years. I think he's 26.
Yeah, 25 or 26. I'm trying to pull it up as well.
Yeah, I think it's 26.
Yeah. Fantrax loves to do this. Maybe if we're ever sponsored, it'll work a little bit quicker.
Also, yeah, this is also a RAM issue.
Yeah, old computer. But that being said, yeah, he's a 25 or 26-year-old. More than likely he got the franchise tag. He'll probably be around. I think they can't move on from Zeke, or if they do release him, they might, but they'll try to restructure before they get rid of him.
Yeah.
He still broke out last year. He had a great year. 112, you're sitting at like one of those, kind of later round wide receivers, early, back end running backs at that position, but it's not bad. I mean, it's a good, you're not going to get more. I wouldn't take any less for Pollard though.
You're not going to get more for Pollard in terms of picks.
Right.
Maybe player value, you might get something better, but like in terms of picks, I think 112 is pretty fucking fair.
I think so as well. Another fun one. So a Derrick Henry moved Derrick Henry for 23 12, 24 first, and 23 pick 8.
I like it just because it's like a patience thing. It's like I'll give you two second round picks for now, and then I'll give you the first round pick next year. But I'm not going to give you the first round pick this year. So I would say like whoever sold Henry, they won that trade. That was a really good trade to take those two seconds and then the first next year, because maybe the first next year is a 1-1. It's a one
where
three.
I'm looking at. And that also put his team's kind of in shambles. He has 3 really good running backs. He has Aaron Jones, Chubb, and now he's got Henry. I wanted the draft capital because that was me. I traded Henry away, but yeah, that was one of them that I overall thought, it's fair for an aging running back. I think he might be on the move too. That's another kind of big thing.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be on the move.
Yeah. Here's just a quick one we can run through. Romeo Dobbs and 4th round pick 4 for a pick 3. So as I was saying before, kind of trading into the 3rd, trying to bulk them all up, trying to move up. Maybe it is a slow draft, so you could potentially make those type of trades and move up, but I don't think anyone's going to want to do that. It's kind of a whatever trade, in my opinion. I think
it is a whatever trade. The one below it, Ayuk for 1-4.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What is people plugging it in? Give me Infinity Stones right now. And that, honestly, 1-4 is probably the best pick to have. Sure, you're not getting Bijan, and you might not get your first pick of QBs, but you're still,
you're a high quality player, and you don't have to make a super tough decision like me.
No, exactly. Can't get better than that. 1-4, obviously. Ayuk, love him, but 1-4 holds the capital over it.
Yep.
Moving on, Zay Jones in round 4, pick 12 for Sammy Watkins in pick 3. So funny thing, after this one went down, Sammy Watkins got dropped right after this.
Love that.
So just traded for the 3rd.
That's a blah fucking trade. I don't know. No thoughts.
Yeah. Right. This is a little fun one.
That's okay.
So that's why
Chubb for Olave and 1-6. I would say that's a pretty even fucking deal.
Yeah, I lean more when it comes to that. I lean more of the rookie wide receiver.
Fucking once a running back hits 27, you're pawning him off.
24 apparently when I trade JT. We'll go into that one later, but yeah, it's even right now. You don't know. I mean, Carr just went to New Orleans as well, so that's kind of huge. But yeah, right now I actually lean.
Oh, that's actually massive for him. His stock rises now for sure.
Oh yeah. Moving down, Jalen Waddle, George Pickens, so it was Waddle for Pickens, pick 7, Osborne,
2-7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Waddle's good, but he still has to fight for it with Tyreek, and then if God forbid Tua retires, has another concussion, you're stuck.
Incredibly likely.
Yeah, that's what's scary because he doesn't know how to land.
No, they said he's they sent him to like jiu-jitsu for him to work on like his break falls, so the impact on him hitting his head. Fucking dummy.
Yep. So this is a blockbuster. This one's kind of a lot to unpack. So give up, or you send away Hopkins, 24 and 25 first, Barkley, and a 5th rounder for this year for Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Howell, Jimmy G, and a 3rd next year.
I would never do that.
You would never do that because you're in like contention. Now, think about it this way. If you can preserve it, this also has Jefferson on the team that just got Wilson. They have Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. You kind of have your wide receivers locked up for the next 3 to 5, or at least 5 years. Don't have to worry about it unless something.
3 to 5 is more accurate.
Yeah. Barkley, we don't know what he's going to do. He's under the tag. He should still bounce.
Ball out, bro. It's tag year, bro. It's tag year.
He'll still bounce around and be fine. Hopkins, new team. You don't know who he's going to be. Is Mac Jones throwing the ball? Is a rookie wide receiver throwing the ball? You don't know.
Did you say Matt Jones? Oh, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, yeah.
You're talking about Matt Jones from the old Jaguars QB that just did a bunch of coke.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that guy?
Yeah, I do actually.
He was like the Arkansas. Or no, he's a wide receiver for the Jags. He played quarterback in college. They converted him to wide receiver, and
Yeah.
then he just could not stop doing blow, and then was out of the league within like a year. Hold up, I gotta make sure this
Sounds about right.
is.
I think the nice little thing about this trade too is like Sam Howell, he's a starter. It doesn't mean anything. He could be terrible. And then you got the veteran, and it's a super flex league. Let's mind you, super flex tight end premium. Howell's going to be starting whether anyone likes it or not, unless they bring in Rodgers. But he's going to the Jets. Going on record on that one. And then Jimmy G, veteran, he'll end on a team. Hopefully not the Texans, but he'll be a starter. You get 1 to 2 more years out of him. You can draft a new QB. I know losing these 2 picks, you don't really have that first round option, but I have I have enough wide receivers to move now.
I guess.
So that's one. That's one league.
I'd say that was one where you shafted yourself, maybe.
Maybe, but I'm high.
Maybe.
I think St. Brown and Wilson are good enough players.
Those are good. I don't know about the rest of them, but
yeah. All right, moving down to the home league, the old GridIron. Derrick Henry for 110.
To be determined, right? TBD.
I mean, if you can replace him at 110, or if you could use that 110 pick to get a player around a Javonte Williams, maybe I'm trying to think of another running back that I would probably trade 110 for. I mean, maybe Pollard, if you can get.
If you really love selling people on those players with knee injuries, don't you?
Pollard has a knee injury.
Javonte.
Oh, yeah, but he's back. He's supposed to be back, but it'd be a player that 110. It's about equal value because you're not going to have a potential starter at 110. Depending on where Miles Sanders goes, I think that's a good range too. But getting Derrick Henry, it's good for both sides essentially.
Yeah. All right,
next one, 1-1 and Lamar Jackson for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It's even. You can't get
let the people speak on this one. I wanna know. Let the people speak on that one because I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about it.
We can hit the comment section below. People are gonna say it's fair. Essentially it's the pick of the litter.
Preload their opinions, Jeffrey. Let them decide.
Yeah. But Josh Allen. Moving down, we got Gabe Davis, 23, pick 4, and Juwan Johnson for Hopkins, 1-9, and Komet. I'll let you break that one down to start.
I don't know. So Pat's moving down to 1-9, picks up another fucking Bears player. Idiot. And then picks up DeAndre Hopkins, where we just spoke about his possibilities.
I think he's in win now mode. So if you're in win now mode, I think Hopkins is the guy to go for because he showed it last year. He's still got the juice left. It was Kyler got hurt.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis could pop off too. Playing both sides of it. If you want to, the biggest thing is 1-4 because, like I said, that's the best spot to be in my opinion. Juwan Johnson, serviceable. Got Derek Carr as QB now.
Free agent.
Yeah, could be free agent. I don't know if they're re-signing him or not, but if he still comes back to New Orleans, that's a good pick. Plus, he's got the dual eligibility, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It's interesting how some fucking people get that.
Right. All right, pick 1-1 for JT. So essentially, that would be Bijan for JT. Honestly, if you're a contender, it still works out. You're not building your team around a rookie running back. If you're starting from in the middle of a rebuild, that's the last spot. That's the last spot I would go for. I want to establish depending if it's super flex, establish my QB, and then establish wide receivers to build around. Running backs you could sell off picks for. Thoughts?
I don't know.
It all depends on if you're rebuilding. Like I said, if you're rebuilding, then that pick. I'd rather have JT, but
right. I just don't know how I feel about JT anymore. I don't know if it's there
yeah,
personally.
I mean, I think it depends. I mean, that team is such a dumpster fire that I think,
It is. I just can't tell if it's him dropping off or if it's the dumpster fire or a little bit of both.
right.
Obviously, the dumpster fire plays a huge part, but it didn't when he literally or when he had his 1,800-yard season. Like they still sucked ass.
Right. I
So
think it was a little bit different having Carson Wentz, who could kind of still sling it, where Matt Ryan's arm was gone.
that's fair. Yeah.
All right.
Um.
This next trade, kind of a surprising one, but overall just good quality, I think, in my opinion. You got Brian Robinson Jr., Pat Fryermuth for Deontay, John Mechie, Juwan Johnson, and a third. And that's a late third too.
Okay. I think Pat won that one.
Yeah, I would go with Pat just because he got.
Those are good pieces. Yeah, those are all good pieces in return for.
Because you need those wide receivers. Once again, I mean, you can't tell me that Kenny Pickett's not going to still sling it like a little bit better than he did. Like
It's possible. Yeah.
oh, I mean, and then Mechie, if he comes back and he's healthy, there's a reason he was going to be a top 10 taken off the board too. So if he didn't tear his ACL too. Tight end premium, I do like Fryermuth over Johnson though. And then Robinson. Robinson is so I like Robinson. The problem with him is he's so slow. If you ever watch some of his tape, and maybe on another pod I'll bring it up, but if you watch his tape, he's so slow making cuts and he's so slow going through the tackles where any other running back like Gibson would have been gone.
Yeah.
So that kind of closes out the home league at least. So we'll do one more for this year and like we'll see how it goes if my stuff starts moving.
Computer's gonna blow up.
There it is. Perfect. So this one actually just went down in this league. Mark Andrews and Ken Walker for Justin Fields and McBride. This was before the trade, at least.
Okay.
So the project
yeah.
they needed a QB desperately, and pretty much Cup the Magic Dragon is he's ready to win. He made the final last year. He was
great fucking name.
I know. Starting Jordan Atkins, but he has Jalen Hurts and Russ. So I mean, you can never have too many running backs. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
McBride could be a little bit better. He's going to be one of the only targets there. Year 3, or he'll be going into year 3 next year. That's usually when tight ends break out. He could break out this year, though. What do you think?
Or they draft one. Always that possibility. Kincaid, Michael Mayers, excuse me.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say it's a good trade. There's no issue with it. I think if I'm a contender, I definitely go Walker, Andrews, fill out those pieces, which it did. You really don't. I mean, Superflex, yeah, you do ideally want 3 QBs, but if you don't need it, sell them. Sell them for Walker and Andrews. That was like what you would ideally draw up. Moving on. This one is another blockbuster for CeeDee Lamb. So give up James Cook, the 1-5, Alan Lazard for CeeDee Lamb, 2-2, and Khalil Herbert. It's got to be the Lamb side, though, right? I mean,
it's got to be the Lamb side.
Mind you, the Lamb side that just got Lamb has
that's better.
He has 1-2 and 1-3 as well. So like he basically can still draft JSN if he wants, or Gibbs or whoever.
And then disposed 1-5 and then got that in return. That was a good fucking move.
Yeah,
that was well played.
Yes, well, people are playing checkers. That's what I call that one. The last one for this league is Kenny Pickett and George Pickens for Dalton Schultz in 1-3. So now you can see why 1-5 was disposable at that point.
Yeah.
You get, and once again, like I said, has 1-2 already.
Yeah, I'm going 1-3 and Schultz. I'm not in on picking.
Even if Schultz won't be back with Dallas, so does that make any difference?
It could. It could. It just depends where he's going. Oh, no.
We'll run through one more round of trades and we'll close it out here for this episode. We'll try to do this in 5. Okay, so Nico Collins and Travis Etienne for 23 first. This is last year, mind you, and it ended up turning into 1-5. So essentially, Nico Collins and Etienne for Lazard. I mean, for Lamb.
For Lamb, it's 1-5.
So Dr. Feelgood had 1-5 or received 1-5. 1-5 got traded for Lamb in that other scenario.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna call it 1-5.
Yeah, well, obviously, but what ended up turning into Lamb?
Yeah, I mean, I would go with the pick in that scenario, but
yeah, I mean, I don't trust Etienne. I like him, but
I don't. I like him too. He's good on Madden right now, but that ain't fucking transferring.
No. Yep, good QB though. Like, dump it off. Okay. Hayden Hurst, give up round 2, 23. Jameson Williams, and a 4th for 2 firsts and Javonte Williams.
2 firsts and Javonte Williams.
Sold high completely on Jameson Williams. He could break out, but he could end up just being a Darius Hayward Bay. I really hope not, but
oh god,
that's why I'm not high on Jalen Hyatt. When we touch on our wide receiver rookies too,
it was like their first round pick and fuck what 08.
Yeah, to the Raiders too. I think it was
It was the Raiders, maybe like 9 or 10. I don't know.
As you could see, this one, just going through the trades, this was kind of like a teardown season for Dr. Feelgood. Got rid of Rodgers and Jordan Love for Zach Wilson and a first rounder. Basically gave up 2 starting QBs for this year. Wilson, he'll still be on a team. And got an additional first. Rebuild.
Yeah, and he's not ruled out, even though it's very likely that his career will never now pan out to what it should have been, maybe, given.
But if he has Rodgers to learn from, that'll help.
Yeah, but I mean, just like number 2 pick in the draft should have been, X, Y, and Z. Not if so facto not, just turns out to be a mom fucker.
Yeah, exactly. AJ Brown for Allen Lazard and DeAndre Swift. I'm going AJ Brown.
Yeah.
This is kind of a hodgepodge one. Is that Jeff Wilson? Is that Jeff Wilson for
Cup? For a 2, a 4, and Jordan Howard?
Jordan Howard got dropped. Okay, so that's why I was like, that doesn't make any sense, but
yeah,
that's a space clearing one. I mean, I'd go Jeff Wilson.
Let's see here. I don't know. Let's look at the next one. Allen, and let's see, a 3rd for Pickett.
Super flex.
No, I'm keeping Allen in my 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, in a rebuild,
I just re-signed him, I believe, too.
Yeah, they will. He's still there. I mean, in a rebuild, I'm fine with just moving him.
Yeah.
This one's kind of a trash one. Huntley for Dortch.
That's garbage.
Desperation. Okay, here's a fun one. 23, round 2, Nico Collins, Cade Otton, Juju Smith-Schuster for DeAndre Hopkins and Devin Duvernay.
I don't have any thoughts on Devin Duvernay, bum. And then DeAndre Hopkins, like, I don't know. Just depends. Let's see. October 27th, 2022. I don't know what he was doing then. Was that when he was having a couple good games?
Yeah, he came back, had a couple.
Is that when you shipped him off? You're like, oh, he caught 2 touchdowns, one in the back of the end zone with one hand. I'm like, all right, put him on the block, get him gone.
Yep, got to get younger. Juju's still on the team, younger player. Give me a pick. That's fine. Nico Collins ended up helping me get 1-5. Overall, good solid trade. This one, I don't really care about. We won't even mention it because it's trash for trash. Cooper for NTN was kind of a fun one. Shipped off Cooper for NTN. Okay. If you have wide receivers, and there was no flex at that time either, I'm sticking with the running back just because you can never have too many running backs. Put it on a t-shirt. That's one of them. Who would you rather have, Cooper or NTN?
Fuck. I'm not high on either of them. I guess NTN.
Yeah.
Until his knee blows out, or his fucking plantar fasciitis comes back.
Yeah. This one's kind of a steal. Higgins for a second and Elijah Moore. Higgins all day.
Yeah.
Unless that's seconds. I mean, Moore could be better with a better QB. Last one we'll mention before we wrap up. This was a blockbuster. Jordan Love, 23, late 23 first, so 112. Jameson Williams, George Pickens for Geno Smith and CMC.
Okay.
Back in Business ended up winning the league as well. With
okay, yeah. So it obviously proved to be the winner. I was kind of leaning that way.
Yeah, if you're trying to win, I mean, this is like your typical, like, this is what you do when you're rebuilding. You ship it all out,
Yeah.
And neither of those other players are still on the team for Dr. Feelgood either. All of them got shipped off for other picks and stuff. So,
yeah, would be.
All right. We can touch on a rebuild for that team in another episode just for fun talking points. But I think we'll close it out here. We'll stop sharing. I think we killed it on trades.
Yep.
You can't beat it. That being said, any last words, Sheriff?
Number one is available for the right price and reasonable offers.
So a third
reasonable offers, people.
So, how about this one for Mahomes? So I'll give you the ghost of Nick Goings.
Okay.
Mike Allstott.
Okay.
Kobe. Kobe has got to be a part of the deal.
Surely.
With yeah, and then for Mahomes, how does that sound?
Man, deal.
Right. Oh yeah, let me get your third too.
For shits and gigs, right?
Yeah, of course.
But for real, yeah, number one picks on the block. Anthony Richardson's going number one, folks. That's a fact. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. It's my boy. So maybe I will take him and then just hoard him on the bench, and we'll see. Let him develop and let him turn into an MVP and start him. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll leave a glimpse of hope for Bijan, for Dave. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how I'm fucking feeling that day.
All right. Peace.
Peace.